Again, welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network. We have an amazing young lady on the line with us. Good afternoon, and how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, sir.
Ooh, you know what? I love my job, and I just want to hear you say it again. How you doing?
Very, very well.
Oh my goodness! I tell you, I am excited to have you. And good afternoon to you. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from.
Okay, let's see. I was born in Venezuela, lived around the world till I was 5. Grew up in upstate New York town, very small. Lived in Milwaukee for a while,
Hmm.
so semi-local. Um, then married a priest, an Episcopal priest. And then we went from New York State to Pennsylvania to Ohio, and now we are in Flint, Michigan.
Wow, Flint, Michigan. Now, I'm amazed and I am excited about number one, you having the opportunity to stop by and kind of chat with us this afternoon, but also deciding to be a part of our broadcast network as one of our featured authors. Tell us a little bit about your current publication, if you don't mind.
Well, I have a series called The Tale of the Eighth Herald, and so far there are 3 volumes, and the fourth is almost ready to be released.
Uh huh.
Plus, I just released a prequel to the whole series, and that is called The High Lord's Daughter.
Oh, wow.
And it sounds like something that, is like all those other romance type books, romance adventure, but it's very, very different. I
Mm.
find it kind of funny as well as exciting and sweet. Um, and I'm in the middle of doing the sequel to the prequel, which is telling what happens to the High Lord's daughter 2 years afterwards.
Wow.
So, yeah, pretty busy.
Well, you know,
But I wanted specifically to talk about the first book in the series, The Tale of the Eighth Herald.
mm,
All these books are available on Amazon under the name Alicia Marsland.
ah, okay.
You
Well,
got to write in Alicia Marsland because if you just put in story, 1,000,000,000 storybooks turn up, which aren't this book. The book, which is the first in the series, is called Story, Story.
and of course, I'm
And people
showing
have asked me,
Story
hmm,
Story. I'm currently showing Story Story on our television screen so people can be
right,
aware.
right. Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about that particular publication, and it kind of goes with the series, but how did it all begin?
Well, people have asked me that, and I've for a while there I had trouble answering it because there's an awful lot that goes into the books, which means they are certainly not boring. But I decided that the main premise is if a man who is trying to save animals lived in a world like ours, only about 150 years further down the line, what would his life be like? So you figure this is year 2165 ish, and it seems pretty much the same as today, except there's like rolling blackouts and malfunctioning cell towers because there's been a pulse in a previous war, and there's a plummeting birth rate, which is not a new theme for authors, but I treat with it a little bit differently. And what's interesting to me is one of the things that happens about chapter 5 or 6 is there's a man-made pandemic
Hmm.
spread by insects,
Wow.
and there's a war that in the past has wiped out about half the planet. There's some interesting new doodads, one of which I really like. It's called a heat cup. And when you put your coffee, it stops being the right temperature.
Right. Right.
Half the planet is technically free, and the other half is under a tyrannous government. But in the free government, there are treacherous elements that are sneakily going after people they disapprove of. And of course, people hearing this now will say, well, how much of this did I copy from current events? And the answer is absolutely none, because that book was published in 2018.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did, however, just observe things that were going on, and I thought about where they might lead in the future. And I absolutely had no idea there would be a pandemic or any of these other things going on, like the government problems, I didn't think any of that would happen so quickly, so that kind of startled me a bit. So people who are interested in current events might like to just read the series to see what else might be going to happen. That's the plan.
Story. And of course, Alicia is one of our featured authors on the GMAP
Yes.
Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. All you have to do is stop by our platform, click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Authors. You will see a copy of the publication I'm currently showing you on our television screen, which is a part of a series. And we want you to make sure you go out, show your love, care, concern, and support. Pick up a copy, share it with all of your followers, family, all your friends. Show your love and support, and make sure when you do purchase on from Amazon specifically, please leave a review. Leave a review. It's very important. Now, is this publication and/or series available elsewhere? Like, can you pick it up in any other location?
Not that I know of, unless somebody's selling them secondhand, which could be happening, I suppose, on eBay or something.
Now, I know that you have, made this a series, and you do have another upcoming publication that you're going to be releasing. But when you look back over the journey, what's next for you? I mean, what comes after all of this?
Well, the thing is, I don't know. You had an author on not too long ago who said something about that God seemed to be just dropping things in her lap and what she planned to happen in the story. Those were not the things that ended up happening, or stuff that she had no idea would happen. This keeps happening to me and my main character, whose name is Noah.
Uh-huh.
One interesting thing is that there aren't any races in the book,
Right.
but a child can be born any color, including green or purple.
Right. Right.
Maybe this is a result of experimentation. I'm really not sure, but the story is not so much about the world situation, but how my main character Noah Peterson and his wife Marty, and how they try to live life and cope with all of this.
Yeah.
So I feel like this gives people hope for dealing with the things they're having to deal with today.
Right. Right.
So I just want it. To me, it's like I'm reading somebody else's book as I write.
Right.
And I'm always interested to see what's going to happen next.
Right. So once again, she is here live on the GMAP Broadcast Network. Now, if someone wanted to reach out to you on a more individual basis and maybe talk to you about what you're doing, what you have done, and what you plan to do in the future, is there some contact information that you don't mind sharing with us?
Sure. I have a Facebook page called The Tale of the Eighth Herald. That would be Herald, Herald, rather than the guy named Harold.
Right.
And then I also have a website, also named The Tale of the Eighth Herald, which also shows my artworks, or some of them anyway.
Right. Wow.
So those would be two ways because my email address is available from those places, and also in the books, my email address is at the end of the books.
Right. Well, I want to let you know that number one, once again, I really, really appreciate you taking time out on this afternoon. But thanks again so much for simply accepting the invitation to be a part of our broadcast network family as one of our featured authors. And of course, I want you to know that please keep me informed. Let me know what you're doing, what's yet to come, book signings, appearances. We want to be there to assist you on your journey, Alicia, any way we can. And we want you to just simply give us a call. And when you do so, the answer will be yes. And you will never have to ask me twice. I want you to make sure that you continue to reach out to us, do a follow-up. We're going to be talking about a couple of the other publications in your series in the weeks ahead. So we want to make sure. But what I want to do now, I just want to move over, and I want you to speak to the audience from the heart. Tell them, what's on your heart and why it's so important that they would go out and show their support and pick up a copy of not just this publication, but the series, and they will be honorably blessed. So I want to move over, and I'm going to say, Alicia, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, as I told you, there's a birth rate problem in the story, and so Marty and Noah have no children. But they end up requiring children in some very strange ways, some of them being kind of a rescue, uh, accidentally. The one is very adventurous. But one thing that's really close to my heart is children. I teach children who are having difficulties in the public school and so forth. So the children that Noah and Marty acquire in these strange ways in this strange time have their emotional problems. So that's one of the things that gets worked out in the books. Another thing is that there are some really, really, really bad things. Mm-hmm. Because in a world like that, really, really bad happen. But I think one of my main themes is that with faith, you can overcome anything. Yeah. Not that Noah has any faith. He's a bit of an atheist because of some really horrible things that happened to him in his past. But he still tries his best to do what's right. And of course, Marty believes and is a good influence on him. Yeah. Sometimes. Right. But they don't know each other very well as a couple. And I think another one of my themes is, when you get married, you don't really know the person you marry. We always talk about, get to know them before you marry them. Well, do the best you can with that. But you have to grow up while you're married. And that's what these two do. Right. And I think that's important in the story. And another thing is, I never end a book with an unhappy ending. Yeah. Because I think there's enough unhappiness in real life. Right, right. I think I think it's a kind of abuse to drag somebody through your story and then dump a miserable ending on them. Yeah. Yeah. It's cruel. Yeah. Cruel. Books are not supposed to be real life. Right. They may imitate real life, but they're there to teach you things and help you along in your life. So that's another thing that's very important to me. Right. Well, I appreciate you once again. And, again, I want to encourage all of our viewers and listeners around the world. Be sure to show your love, care, concern, and support. Stop by our broadcast network platform, GMAP1.com. Click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Authors. You will see a copy of the publication I'm currently showing you on our television screen, story. Alicia Marsland. And of course, we appreciate her. We want you to share it with all of your followers, family, and friends. We will be inviting her back soon to find out more about some of the other publications she has available. And once again, we want you to be sure that when you do show your support, to leave a review. And Alicia, I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you taking time out on today. I will be inviting you back, so you stay close and stay connected, and you continue to do what it is that you have been blessed to do, and that's release these great publications to people around the world. I want you to have a fantabulous rest of your day. Be blessed and be a blessing, and I'm going to look forward to talking with you again soon, okay? Thank you very much, sir. Oh, we thank you, and you have an honorably blessed day. Take care, okay? Thank you. Yes. Bye-bye. Alicia Marsland, she is one of our featured authors on the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. Don't forget, show your love, care, concern, and support right here on the number one station in the nation, GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. Looking forward to speaking with you all again very soon. Until next time, be blessed and be a blessing. Take care.